What's good, everybody? Drive Time back at it again, and oh man, this has been a rough weekend. I've been saying that this is a great time for content creators to really take some life lessons from other content creators, and so much of that applies to the great debater Andrew Wilson. So anybody who is a fan of debates is probably aware of who Andrew Wilson is. He is largely argued as one of the greatest debaters that's out right now. He has debated some of and many of the greatest debaters who are out right now, and pretty much on top of the game. Got a whole course to help other people be better at debating. And as a person who's always fared very well in debates, he's solid. He's got the memory. He's got the ability to draw the statistics. He knows the techniques and strategies to get people off their game. Solid all the way around. However, everybody has a flaw. There's a chink in everybody's armor. The Achilles heel analogy could not be more accurate when it comes to what happened to him this past week. He was in a debate with a young woman named Charlie, whom he's debated before multiple times, and by a traditional standard of debates, he has demolished her every single time. And he could have did it this time if it wasn't for the fact that Charlie is extremely dangerous in the fact that she knows how to assess her opponent's weakness, and she knows how to stay calm in an onslaught of assaults. So, to give the backstory, they did a 2v2 debate months ago. He watched her. Her partner talked most of the time. She didn't really get a word in edgewise. She felt like she would have had a better showing if she had been able to talk. Then she went back up on the panel solo with Andrew, and they did a one-on-one. I think it was about 5 hours. She did much better. She still lost, but she did much better. She was right. She had a better way of making her points. She had a much better showing. Again, she didn't win, but she had a much better showing and presence this time. So they decided to go on to whatever podcast and debate again. She didn't prep. He didn't prep. This is according to them. They said they didn't prep for the whole thing. Debate's going for 4 straight hours. Andrew's winning. He's pulling up statistics. He's countering everything she says. When she gets cornered into the fact that she's not making any sense, she won't concede, so it makes it look worse. She's been corrected on many statistics that she cites, many statistics that she challenges. She's been corrected on. She's getting washed. It gets to a point where she asked a question of Andrew to convince her to believe in his faith. He says, sure, no problem if you'll do the same for me when I'm done. Then he goes on this 5 to 15 minute rant, just berating her, not really answering the question, just making personal attacks at her. He was disguising it as he doesn't think he can convince her but then his because is all personal attacks. She sits there and takes the whole thing. In that conversation, he gets to a point where he starts talking about her father, and he's making fun of him too, and having all this stuff to say. She's defending her father, but she stays calm the whole time. Then she goes to convince him of her point, and she starts by talking about the fact that his wife has 3 baby daddies. First of all, her wording is maniacal and genius, because whilst the wording 3 baby daddies is true, she's including Andrew when she says it, knowing that most people won't take it that way. Andrew loses his freaking mind. Doesn't help the fact that he drinks, and he had been drinking because you can see him drinking on the stream. There's one clip that they held with him holding a liquor bottle almost empty, drinking straight out of it. So you know he's not in his right mind. He flies off the handle, begins to insult her, says don't bring his wife into it, talking about why would you bring other people into it, just after he had brought other people into it. Then he starts trying to get her to justify that why he did it and makes him a good person. He's dang near crying when he's doing it. He's rehashing all that Rachel's old business. Rachel calls in. Charlie says she doesn't want to. They tell her she should anyway. She gets on. Rachel makes it worse. Doesn't make it any better. Doesn't defend herself. She just explains that everything that Charlie said is true. Charlie sits there calmly. And at this point, she just allows Andrew to make himself look worse. And the whole point that I'm saying this for is this. I've been saying. Watch what you say when you want to be a public figure from start to finish. Because if it's out there and somebody needs to get at you, they're gonna look for it to try to find it and use it against you. And two, if you make this stuff open knowledge from the jump, then nobody can go back with a gotcha surprise like this person tried to do. Granted, what she said was common knowledge. How she worded it made it hit different. And I see a lot of people trying to defend it and say, no, he did not win. If you are a person who appreciates and enjoys debates, you cannot at all say he won. Did he have the first 4 hours? Sure. But this ain't by fight rules where judges give points or whatever over time. No. Your showing in a debate is from start to finish. And you can collapse it in a moment. And a person who is very adept in debates knows this. It's not always about who's smarter or who knows the most statistics or who has the best memory or the best comebacks. Sometimes it can boil down to who knows their opponent better and who uses that information better to their advantage. And in this exchange, Charlie washed Andrew. I'm sorry for anybody who likes debates and don't want to hear that about Andrew, because I didn't want to hear it and I didn't want to see it either. But it's just a fact of the matter. She washed him because no matter how badly he was beating her for 4 straight hours, she made him look like a fool in one sentence. And you shouldn't be able to do that if the person is better than you at debates. So, does it make him a bad debater? No. Does it make her better than him overall? No. But does it mean that she beat him this time? Absolutely.